All right, what's happening, everybody? How are we? Steve Mingleco, the Patriotic Gringo, new channel here. Got to get these political ideas off my head. So let's talk about the lockdowns and the science behind the lockdowns, the whole Chinese virus, if you want to call it that. Where we're at now, a year after this, as opposed to how this kind of all came apart, and about different areas and how they're dealing with it. So the first thing I can say is, throughout the last year, I've actually surprisingly done a lot of traveling. I've been a lot of places. I've been up where I'm from in Minnesota, which had a very tight, strict lockdown, still does to this day. I have been down in Florida where I work and I have my life. And I've also been traveling. I'm currently down in Central America. And I've been through a few countries down here and how they all are dealing with this whole COVID virus. And the first thing of these lockdowns, like I completely understood a year ago when they didn't know what was happening. We didn't know how to deal with it. We're like, well, let's get the hospitals ready. Let's shut down the businesses. Let's shut down the schools. Let's shut down the companies. And everything just kind of went to a stop. And that was fine. We're like, we'll do 2 weeks and figure out, what the hell's going on, if we're going to have problems, if this really is bad. And I was all about the science. I'm for science. I'm pro science. I'm not anti science. But now we are a year out, and it's absolutely crazy what they're still doing in some parts of the country. Like, I follow my Facebook, and obviously I've been spending some time up in Minnesota where they're still locked down. I mean, the necessities are open, but you can't go to the bar, you can't go to the restaurant, you can't go to the hospitality or tourism or any of those type of features are just done. And it's like, okay, well, people are still allowed to make their livings. People are still should be allowed to open their restaurants. I mean, we're all adults. We can learn how to cope with this without shutting the entire, restaurants or hospitality and tourism industries down. So that brings me to Florida, where I was. And again, I was for the first 2 weeks. They did the science. And now Florida and Governor DeSantis is fighting very, very hard to try and keep the state open as much as possible. I've been seeing a lot of the more bars and clubs and restaurants are even starting to open back up, which, thank God. I mean, that's why half the people in the United States right now are moving to states such as Florida and Texas, because they want to get away from these radical ideas that are literally killing hundreds of families, a lot more than I think that this virus. We're not even looking at the long-term effects of like kids being out of school for a year, not having the ability to socialize and to be stuck at home by yourself. So that being said, I think that we should have paid attention to the science, but we have gotten to a point where we're just in loony town. And I feel like so much of this has become politically driven that there's really no science behind it anymore. If you want to have science, then let's, look at the numbers and look at what's happening. However, to just shut everything down and say, you can't run your life, you can't make your bills, that's insanity. And that brings me to my third point, being here in Central America and Nicaragua. And there is literally zero regulation as far as mask mandates, as far as restaurants or bars. I mean, you go to look at one of these little buses out here, these buses just packed with people, filled to the rim, and people are sitting on the outsides of them pretty much. Maybe a couple people have a mask, but the majority of the bus does not have a mask. Their hospitals are not overrun. Yesterday I went out to a nice restaurant for most of the afternoon, enjoyed just the ability to get out and socialize, and I mean, I can't live without those things. I need that part of my life. So I think these whole virus and these lockdowns have just got into a tyrannical situation. And I'm very scared what's going to happen in a few weeks when the next administration comes in. And the first thing they're going to do is start locking people down. He's even said it himself, like, I'm going to lock them down, and I'm not taking no vaccine. I don't trust it. I trust the science of survival 99%, a hell of a lot more than I do of taking a vaccine that they rush warped and now are trying to stick in every American when they don't know what's going to happen a year, 2 years, 10 years down the road. I would rather, let my physical immune system, I'm pretty healthy, I take care of myself. That's what we have these immune systems for. And it's very unfortunate that hundreds of thousands of people have had to die. But I think a lot of these numbers and stuff, we just don't know. I mean, these are old people who were getting sick, or they were getting something's, that's life. Life is death. Like, we can't prevent everybody from dying. So locking ourselves down in the prevention of getting people sick in the future or getting sick and dying is just mind-boggling to me. I'm at the point where, I mean, I had to leave the U.S. because I can't be in that type of environment, and it's become so political now that it's not even about the science. And again, if you can bring the science, I'm all about it. But what's the ultimate goal? It's to lock you in, take control of your life, not let you, get healthy, go to gyms, do activities that you're normally used to doing, and then they get more control, they get more regulation, then they want to give you all these vaccines and these things to fight the virus. Well, that's just insanity to me. Like, it's absolute insanity to me. And I think even the people on the other side are realizing, whether they want to admit it or not, that it's absolutely crazy to sit here and lock each other down and to force these vaccines. And even at 1 million doses a day, you got to get 2 vaccines. It just take a whole year to just give America 1 round, to give the second round. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And at the end of the day, I'm just happy to be here where I can go walk down the street to the bar or the restaurant or whatever, the beach. No problems here. And that's the other insanity about this all, is that depending on the state of the location, they're really cracking down differently. So guys, that's my little rant today as far as the whole lockdowns and the science behind them. Don't be scared to live. That's what I can say. Get out there, be active. I mean, I don't know anybody who's I think I know a few people who had it, but like nobody that's been like deadly sick or hooked up on machines or all this garbage they're telling you. I mean, we're humans, we're strong individuals. And just get out there, live your life, and don't be scared. Don't always listen to what the government has to tell you. So with that, I will catch you in the next video. Take care. Peace.